Hey everybody, welcome to another video review. A little bit behind in some of the stuff I want to show, but maybe catch up a little bit more, give a little bit new content. So we're back to statue reviews. This should need no introduction, but you never know. There are some people who don't play any video games or whatever. So this is a massive statue of Bowser from the Super Mario Brothers series. I think he's otherwise known as King Koopa sometimes, although that's a really old name. Of course, most of the time he's known just simply as Bowser. This is from the company First4Figures. He's number 77 out of, I think, 1,000. I'm not quite sure. How many pieces First4Figures actually produces or makes is a little bit like cloudy because they have kind of strange rules, I think, about how they do it, and it's kind of evolving, so to speak. But usually what they do is they open a pre-order window, and then after a set period of time, usually 1 week, I think, they'll close the order. So they'll make exactly as many people have ordered, and no more, and then after that, have to get on the wait list if you want to get in on that. But I think more recently, just because of economic pressures and whatnot, they've been thinking about maybe increasing the edition size and making it higher, and then depending on demand, reserving the right to make a few more up to 1,000. But in any case, mine is number 77. I actually asked for the number and registered for it because I have a Lucky Cat Mario, the chromed version, that was number 77. So I thought, I was pretty happy about that, but I didn't get the Mario on Yoshi, and so I think I might have given up. I think I gave up my number for that. But at least Bowser himself is number 77, and I register him. And I got the exclusive version, and so we'll see what that means a little bit later. I may have to actually cut the video or kind of combine it, which I don't like to do. It's kind of a hassle. I like to do everything in one go. But I may have to do that because I don't think I can actually put on the exclusive with just one hand, unfortunately. So I waited, I think probably a little bit less than a year or close to a year for this. He's an absolutely massive behemoth of a statue. But luckily, whoa, holy cows. Okay, I have to modify that. You almost saw a disaster. This guy's so big. He almost knocked over my screen. So anyways, let's come back. I was gonna say, luckily, he is more fat, like more massive sideways than tall. And so, with my iPhone, I'm able to get most of him actually. So let's turn him this way. So he's super big, super heavy, as would you would expect befitting Bowser himself. So this is actually what I think the regular edition comes with, just a big, big massive statue. The only statue that even comes close to sheer weight and mass would be like my Hulk statues, and I think he's actually probably maybe even a little bit heavier than the Hulk. So pretty amazing. The base itself is really nice. It gives you kind of that old school Mario video game feel. Like, the famous environments that you've battled Bowser on so many times. And of course, the nice metallic looking spikes all around is a really, really nice touch. So pretty pleased with that. Now, in terms of the detailing, he is modeled from a video game character, and they're screen accurate. They're very accurate to the video game, and so there's limitations and also advantages to that. He's really colorful, really beautiful, very bright, vibrant. You can see the shells, and as far as the details go, they do the best they can with as much texturing as they can. You can see a little bit here of the leather texturing. You can see some of the shell, again, the green shells have a little bit of texture in it as well. So, they do their best, and it's not all flat. You can see a little bit more, again, of the hands. But at the end of the day, I mean, he's a cartoon character, and you can only appreciate, you can only do so much. You can see the nice little scales right over here, nicely painted. So, in terms of, I think, the overall complexity, he's not that complex. The paint job doesn't have to be that complex. For instance, this is certainly nothing resembling like what you would have to do with a human being. With a lot more work there has to be done with shading. For instance, I think Nightmare, for instance, from the Soul Calibur series, is a much more involved paint job. I'll go over him with a video review a little bit later on in the future. I did already Taki, I believe, the female ninja, and she's similarly reasonably simple. Her paint job is just basically mostly red. So for Bowser, again, pretty simple paints, which is good. You can't screw it up. Really bright, vibrant. I mean, this is basically right out of the pages of the Nintendo Power, or whatever, right out of the video game. And so if you're a Mario Brothers fan, this is sort of like a can't miss. I mean, this is like the king of Mario collectibles. The Lucky Cat Mario, which is the chrome version, is similarly very, very rare. You don't see chrome pieces very often. And if you're a Mario fan, you gotta have the big bad, Bowser himself. And so even though I think the actual sculpt and the paint is relatively straightforward, it makes up for it in sheer size and mass and presence. No joke, I think the base and Bowser himself put together has got to be well over 30 pounds, in my opinion. I would recommend probably trying to move him separately. It's a bit of a bear trying to even get him onto the base. He does have light up functionality. The exclusive does have light up functionality. There's a rechargeable battery at the bottom, and then you have to put the metal peg to get the light up functions, and it's through his left foot. And it is a bear, a beast, to kind of hover over the hole and kind of slide that metal rod in position. So for sure, you will not be disappointed at the presence of Bowser. He's amazing, and if you're lucky enough to have a Mario next to him, I think it makes for one hell of a presentation. So it's really fun. I don't, he's, okay, so by the way, let's talk about cost. So in terms of price, the exclusive is $800, which is, very, very pricey for this type of statue, especially when you consider, again, the fact that there's not a whole lot of, excessive detailing or whatnot. But again, look at my hand. I'm an adult, and my hand is like basically the same size as his hand. It's a little bit, mine's a little bit bigger, but not by a whole lot. And when I'm touching it, you can kind of see how massive the statue is. Look at my fingers, my hand on his shell. You see all these beautiful spikes all the way along. So again, it's a beautiful and accurate sculpt and paint of Bowser. You can even see his tongue right here, very nice. This is magnetized. You can actually take it out. I'll show you that for the exclusive. So, much of I think the 800 has to go with, again, the sheer size and mass of the statue, the licensing, and the light up functionality of the exclusive version. Okay, but even again without the exclusive, this is certainly nothing to be ashamed of. I'm doing a real nice look here. You can see kind of the teeth, the tongue. Some nice paint work around the edges. And you have to take a look at the soft underbelly, so to speak. And again, I really love the old school feel of the base. Kind of feel like, again, you're in the game. So, backing up, looking at them from all different angles. Hopefully you kind of get a sense of the quality, of the paint and the sculpt. He comes in 2 boxes. So Bowser himself, the statue, comes in one massive box. And then the base, as well as the batteries, the light cord, and the tongue and the exclusive flame comes in the second box. So the exclusive does come in 2 boxes. I think that the regular edition, if you don't have the the flame effect probably and likely is done in just one box. Okay, so very well packaged, no problems again with damage or anything like that. First4Figures is one of the few companies where their stuff comes in actually double boxed. So within the brown shipper is another brown shipper on the inside over the color box. And that internal brown shipper has actually foam corners to protect the corners. This is a very, very nice touch, and they have a lot of, and their tape also, the tape job is like a blue F4F tape, is actually, in my opinion, quite a bit tighter. So their packaging is actually pretty meticulous. Of course, if you're unlucky, things can still happen, but in general, good stuff. I mean, last time my Taki swords came broken, I had to get that exchanged, but overall, I don't have a lot of complaints about the quality of their packaging, and they do some pretty extensive drop tests as well. Although trying to drop a box that's over 30 pounds, I mean, good luck with that. But again, no complaints about that. So this is basically the regular version. So now let's try to do the exclusive. This is going to be a little bit tricky. So with one hand, let me see if I can do it. So first, I'm going to get the tongue out. It's magnetized. And so, if you play with it and gently lift it out, you can tear out Bowser's tongue. So there you go. This is the tongue. You can see the little magnet right here that magnetizes it. So we're going to put that aside for now. And then you can see the hole right there, okay? So that the tongue, once you remove it, is going to unmask this hole. And now this is the amazing exclusive right on over here. And it's pretty heavy as well, okay? So here is the actual flame. And the idea is you're supposed to try to put it on. And I don't know if I can do it because, of course, one hand is gripping the camera and the other one you have to put in there. Let's see if I can do it. Whoa. Hold on a second. Okay. So it's in. Okay, can't believe I did that with one hand. So sorry about that, but you don't want this thing to drop, okay? All right, so here we have it. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the exclusive version. So that's pretty crazy. Of course, for those of you who are in the know, you'll know that one of Bowser's more famous attacks is his flame breath. I mean, that is incorporated into almost every video game. So the exclusive, I hate to say, exclusive or fail, but for Bowser, I mean, it's just so important to have it. It almost is like exclusive or fail. So this is made out of almost like translucent resin. There are LEDs, there's LEDs impregnated throughout the length of this flame, both in the main body, the fireball, as well as the plume coming from the mouth. It really looks pretty amazing. I'm going to sort of move the black background a little bit so you can get an idea, but I mean, check it out. So this is what it looks like from the side, and this is what it looks like from the front, okay? So there you have it. Pretty rad. So this, if just this alone would be actually a really cool effect, but then you add to it the light up, and that really kind of takes it over the top. So keep your fingers crossed. So here goes. There's a button here. I'm going to turn it on. Did you see that? Hopefully you can see that. It looks amazing. So now LED is on. I don't have it plugged to anything. The power is being supplied by a rechargeable battery. So here he looks with the light on. Amazing effect. I hope you can appreciate. This really looks phenomenal at night. In the daytime, you can't really see the glow quite as nice. So here's the the tongue right here. We'll take it out of the way. So I'm going to back up to kind of get an idea of that tongue. So that really looks good. I mean, a lot of times, fire effects, smoke effects are kind of shaky. They can look really corny if not done correctly. But using translucent resin and then using the LEDs in there and then lighting it up, it looks awesome. Okay, but then they went to the next level, and if you push the button again, it does it in a pulsing fashion. So it goes all the way down, and it lights off, and then lights on again, and you can kind of see, it gives you the illusion that the flame is shooting out of his mouth, which is like a really neat effect, actually. And so hopefully you can sort of appreciate that. So that's really, really nice. Look at that. Pretty cool. Now, First4Figures, is a company that specializes in video game characters. They're not perfect. There are certain people who have problems with some of their policies, like returns and exchanges and things like that. But I have to say that, in my opinion, I collect a lot of statues, as those of you who follow my channel know. As far as I'm concerned, I really feel like, First4Figures in the statue game does the best light effects of any company. I mean, I don't care if you're, Cinema Cat, obviously Sideshow, Prime One. Light up is a weakness for a lot of companies. They don't implement it super well. XM Studios, who produces really, really good work, one of their just huge glaring weaknesses is light up. Their light ups are just horrendous, very primitive, Hot Toys-like watch batteries, just sort of a joke, really. And all of these companies who produce these, statues sometimes in the $2,000 range, very, very large, detailed, amazing paint jobs, Prime One, for instance, et cetera, they're basically not even the same league as First4Figures when it comes to light up effects. And light up effects are, of course, a double-edged sword, because I think that lights, sort of make the piece just a hero piece, like what I would consider prototype level or extra great, special. It's often the thing that takes a piece over the top, whether it's the brilliant lights of a Star Destroyer, like I've shown you on my channel, or a life-size Han Solo and Carbonite lighting up, or Millennium Falcon lighting up, or of course, more recent memory, the Various suit. Light effects really bring a statue, I think, over the top and can turn a good statue into a spectacular one, and even an average and mediocre statue to a good statue. So properly done, I think light up effects really make your piece so amazing. You can tell that this is sort of what happened with with the Bowser. I mean, look at this guy. It's just mesmerizing. It's beautiful. It's such an amazing effect, and it makes this Bowser unique among all Bowsers ever made. I mean, he's already huge, beautiful, accurate, colorful, gigantic, heavy, but this flame just kind of completely puts him over the top. It's amazing. But the counter argument to the light up is what happens when the electronics fail, when the circuits fail. We have problems with obviously batteries and charge. So it does lend a lot of other considerations to how you're going to implement it and the sort of problems that can occur. I mean, for instance, I have a life-size Mark 7 Iron Man bust who's not really lighting up. I mean, it's in my office currently, and I haven't had a chance to troubleshoot it. But that's sort of a bummer if you're trying to resell it, or if you want to enjoy the light up effects. It's really, really difficult. So I think there's both pros and cons, and it could be that a detailed argument is outside the scope of this review. But I, for one, am really appreciative that a company like First4Figures is not only willing to take up that niche, but also, without any fear, step up and continuously use light up in new, creative, unique ways that you've never seen before, never even thought of before, and to try to push the boundaries of that without, again, the kind of fear of, oh, and I don't want to deal with customer complaints or issues, or I don't want to deal with these things breaking or not working, because light ups have that risk. I mean, you obviously have to have a circuit in there, and based on shipping, it could be invisible damage. I mean, can you imagine trying to ship this Bowser back because you can't get the light up to work? You have to troubleshoot. Is it a problem with the wiring? Is the wiring in the base? Is it in the Bowser himself? Is it in the flame? It could be a mess. And for large pieces like this, it's beyond a headache. But First4Figures, again, should be proud of themselves. They're not deterred. And a lot of it, I think, has to do with the CEO, Alex Davis. I think this guy is very passionate. He loves video games. He's the fan first. He always goes the extra mile. He's sort of the heart of the company, rightfully so. He interacts with the community still in an amazingly positive manner. And he's the guy, I think, who's responsible for the art direction for essentially all of these pieces. Or if he's not, he's responsible for the majority of it. And he has like an amazing imagination. And so I do give credit where credit is due. I don't even know if he made any money on the Metroid Samus Varia suit because of the delay and the extra cost implementing those lights and doing it in such a precise, perfect manner. Again, this is the guy who started off very niche, very small. If you look at some of the older statues, way in the past with those older Metroid statues, Zelda statues, they're very simple. And you can see the growth of the company both creatively and also economically and business wise over the years until now they're creating things like this. So overall, I have a very positive feeling toward them. I mean, I don't collect video game statues specifically, but if a extraordinary piece comes out, then I do pull the trigger. And when it comes to the Lucky Cat Mario and Bowser, those were extraordinary. I think after this, I don't have even any outstanding pre-orders with them. If they ever put out Ivy from Soul Calibers, I'll probably get that. And if they come out with a truly iconic Zelda statue, then I'll go for that. So again, First4Figures niche is high-end, high-quality video game statues, and then also unique art design and unique light up. The best implementation of light up in a statue in the business right now across essentially, in my opinion, all companies. Even I would have to say better than the custom. They're just willing to take that chance, make that leap, and they want to use the lights to put their pieces over the top despite the potential problems and the customer quality control issues that may arise. And so you have to give them credit for that. So again, over the moon, happy with this piece. It's going to take up a lot of space. But man, for a guy who grew up playing Super Mario Brothers, who still loves the game, who likes the 100%, a lot of the games when it comes out, I just 100% in Mario Odyssey about a year ago. This is, absolutely amazing. And as we can see, even on that charge, it goes for quite a while. So definitely nothing but good to say from this. Now, one final little thing is, at least for mine, there was a little bit of an issue in that the little, I don't want to turn it around because it's going to knock this thing over. But if you look at the back, right around here, there's a little hole where you put in the USB port or the micro USB to put it in and you charge it. And at least for my statue, the hole was a little bit misaligned, and it's really hard to get it all the way in to create a connection. You may have to actually wind the hole artificially. And so it's sort of a pain to use the cable, which is this attached wiring. Okay, so this goes into this goes into the base. The small micro port goes into the base right here, and of course the other one goes into your plug. But you really have to press it in, and so it's sort of a pain to do. Now, luckily that's not a game breaker because the battery is chargeable, and so you just have to sort of charge it, and then you don't touch it, and he'll be fine. And I don't plan on displaying him with this thing anyways, because you can imagine it's very laborious. You cannot control where you're going to put this guy, and it's really difficult to put him in a place where it's right next to outlet. So most of the effects are going to be utilized with the battery at the bottom. And so to recharge the battery, you just have to hook it up and you leave it alone for maybe 2 hours, and it'll charge up all the way. So there is that little tiny quality control issue right there, at least for mine. But otherwise, he's perfect. He's beautiful. And the one last thing I want to do is I'm going to try to turn the lights off and see if you can appreciate the glow a little bit more. So I'm going to turn the back right over here. So there'll be backlighting. And then I'm going to turn off the lights real quick. So you can see it's really, really dim. And this gives you an idea of what he looks like. I mean, that is spectacular. Look at this. Wow. Look at the LED. I mean, how good is this? So here he is, breathing fire. I mean, I swear, in dim lighting against the black background, I mean, it looks like he's literally breathing fire out. So again, Alex and First4Figures just hit this one out of the park. And this is a grand slam. Amazing job. I'm gonna go a little bit closer. You can actually see the flame effect. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, that was a nice long review. Hopefully you found that useful and you enjoyed that. This is truly a unique statue. I don't say that very often. Nice effect that you don't see every day. Really, really happy with it. And so again, until the next time, do take care.